All right. Where are we? Midday, February 2nd, and our second coin of the day per members voting on it now, which is what we use now, is for STRAT to Bitcoin. So this is STRAT Bitcoin on Bittrex. I've got a 60-minute chart up here. And now we've done this in video previously, so I'm not going to work you through the complete count here because we're working on the assumption that from our low back here in November, which was a significant low, that we have a 5-wave structure and that we have completed, despite some choppiness in here, that we have completed a wave 1. Well, so this again, we try and just in the broadest, without all of this subdivision here, we can just work from swing low to swing high. Now I am in log scale. If I take it out of log scale, it's not dramatically different. We can take it out. So here's our wave 1 high. And while let's see here, I'll take this off just so you can see a little bit better, and we'll work through some of this. Okay, so let's clear it up. This is just how mine looks. All right, so now we look here. So here's our wave 1. On the assumption that we finish that wave 1, what are we trying to do? We're trying to get a handle on whether or not we have a completed ABC to give us a wave 2, right? We've got all the good subdivision that we'd look for. Now, with a little funky here, two LAticians might quibble as to what we have there. What I see there is an AB, and we finish with a truncated 5th to give us that C. That's what I see. So given that, I think we've got our A, B in. So all I've done here now is say, okay, well, yes, we got to the 50, but are we complete here now? So if we look at it and think, okay, if this is whether it's here or here, actually does not matter. So if we go to what an algo is going to use is the low. Sorry, wrong tool. So if I pull it from the swing high to the swing low, here is a potential A wave. Where do we go? Right to the golden pocket. Okay, so technically from the short side, or where you would anticipate resistance, it just can't get any more technical than that. And where do we go here? Right. So what does that mean? Well, the reaction here at the -23 tells you that algos are in, which no surprise given this project. It's a very, very strong project. So let me tighten this up so we get right on there. A little sloppy on my first pull. Okay, so we come back. All right, so here we have it. So A, B, and then we go right, boom, right to our algo target. Okay, so is that the pivot low? Well, here's where you got to make a decision. So we can see the reactions here. So algorithms are taking profit there. Does that mean we have an absolute low? Well, so you have two things happening there. You have the algorithms that are working off of the swing low to the swing high, buying into the 50 here. And then those that sold here that took it all the way down to the -23. So you got this window here, and we showed this last time we were looking at this coin as a potential buy zone here, right? And that was the pocket, right? And you can see why. It's not difficult to get a handle on why. We know a wave 2, typically between the 50 and the 618. Here's our algo target from the B high. Now, well, here's where a little Elliott wave can be advantageous, because if you don't want to use that, well, then you're already long. You're long here on the expectation now that you're going to your larger target up here. Here's the -23.6 off of this 50 here from swing low to high. The buyers here, that's their target. So within this C wave, do we have all the subdivision that we might look for to give us confidence that we have a hard low here? Is this a good low? Well, you can certainly make the case that it's there based on what I just took you through. Just the 50 and the algo target. Certainly make that case. Well, now if we dig in here a little bit more closely and say, well, if I'm going to complete as a C wave, more commonly, right? And if I'm thinking as an Elliotician, I'm going to have a 5-wave subdivision here. Do I have that? Well, let me take this off. So I would make the case to you that there's a very real probability that we get one more push down to complete this as a 5-wave structure. We still have the 618 here, right? So this is, certainly would be the sweet spot here. Obviously, this market likes it. There's the golden zone here. We saw it along the way on previous counts. You can actually see it here, although not the same relevance here. But this is our target. What we can see over here is this within the golden pocket. Note here, prior resistance, prior resistance, offering potentially a shelf of support. So it's always good to look left and say, well, would that make sense if we were going to get down there? Is there anything I can see if I look left to give me confidence that I'm likely to find some support there? Prior resistance offering that support. You can see it here. You can see prior resistance here offering support. Right? You see that? So it's very common that you'll see that in the market. So we look now into this C wave, 1, 2. Well, there's a good 3. Here's a 4. Do we get that last push down? Well, it looks like we may already have that underway. So what am I going to do here? Knowing that I've already hit that algo target there. Right? So yeah, yes, I do have the negative 618. I have this down here. I'm going to pull that off just so the chart doesn't get too cluttered. And if I've got a 5-wave structure going down here, well, I'm certainly going to consider what might happen from the wave 3, right? Looking for our wave 4. If I get right on there. There we go. Okay, so here 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, do you see it? So let me, even if I take that off, since we've already got this zone wicked, now it clears it up a little bit more. 3, 4. Where would be my 5 relative to this algo pull? Right, we know this hot box here in blue, that's my golden zone. We know that's the 61865 window. Does this make sense? Does that seem like a path that could be playing here? Well, it certainly does to me. We went right into the highest probability zone for a wave 4 between the 38 and the 50. There, we got an algo target down here. We got the 618 sitting right here. That would complete this from an Elliott wave count. We would have perfect Elliott wave pattern structure, correcting the 1 wave with an A, B, and then 5 waves into a C. So we get a 5, 3, 5, right? Classic zigzag. There we go. So anything else? Anything else I can use to build a case there? Well, with 3 pivots, I can definitely work a pitchfork in here. So I'm going to look here. Well, I've got, that looks like the modified shift. So let me tighten this up here. So so this is just that process that you go through here. So let's look. There's modified shift, original. That's kind of interesting. Look at that. So let me dial this in here. So let's make sure I'm right on the pivots. Always a good idea to do. Just zoom in, because when you do it by eye, you can be a little sloppy. It's hard to get it right on. So let's do the same thing over here and make sure that we are right on these pivots. So let's dial it up. Tighten it down. All right, anytime you change time frame as well, you'll likely have to do the same thing. Okay, so down we go. All right, what do we know? Well, we don't quite now, as I tighten that up, we don't quite make the median line. That's awfully damn close. But we know that if I zoom in a little bit, failure to reach the median line, and this is kind of a judgment call. This is where you have to look at what else is going on. Failure to make the median line implies strength, right? So the trading principle, Andrew's trading principle, is that a failure to make the median line implies a move equal to or greater than the swing that took it down there that didn't get the median line, which would mean we'd be looking at a move in excess of this, right? So from this pivot here, well, actually, take that back. It would be from here. So here's your golden pocket. Here's your golden, pardon me. Yeah, so this was a golden corner pocket, right? My favorite trade, right? Trademark, can't steal it. So if I pull from that swing lot high here, right to here, for the short seller, that's the golden corner pocket right there. So we're right in the golden zone between the 618 and the 65. We get the median line right there. We get the corner pocket. Boom, 80% odds. Statistically, 80% odds of making the median line. Oh, by the way, the median line lines up right with the algo target. So no surprise. So when you start to add that in, what you start to think to yourself was likely it's a front run. Likely a front run off of that creates the reaction. Right? So median line, algo target, reaction. Are we done? No, we got another one down here. If we're going down again, right, the exact same thing can happen again. So I'm not saying short it. That's really not what we're trying to do. The dominant trend is to be long. We're trading for the opportunity to get into the third. Well, to be more specific, to get into the first of the third. So good sign here. So market geometry and algos clearly in here. So that reaction does not surprise me. Are we coming back down to test yet again? Have we topped here? It may be that we don't have enough subdivision for that to be a good 4. This was relatively simple here for a 2. So you could see some complexity here. This may not be done. So I'm not saying, short it, down we go, guaranteed to get here. I'm saying that potentially a fourth is being carved out here. So is that the swing low? Well, we don't know. So I would certainly want to pay attention to the upper parallel here relative to what I'm seeing here. So potentially we get a little ABC that carves out in here. That's what we'd want to see, something like, obviously I got to change that degree. But so let's go sub minuet. Okay, so a little ABC in there would be just ideal. So if I put the wave on that, you get the idea. We would like to see a three-wave structure in there of some sort here. This would be textbook, right to the 50, to the lower, or to, in this case, an upper parallel with that last push down to get that target, tap the median line. Now, this is the trade that I buy all day long. So if you look at that and say, well, yeah, the market's coming down, but we're trying to catch the too low, right? That's what we're looking for. So market's coming down. I'm not going to load up here, but that's certainly a reasonable place to start buying. You can be very relatively tight on that too low. I've got the 786 here. I've got the 618. I've got all sorts of confidence here. Remember this blue box here, that's our golden zone. So I'm really building a strong case here. So if I pull it all, so you can see this is where the chart started. When I start to put that all together, so now I get from this swing low to this swing high, and I know I'm a little off here. There it is. If I get that, well, now look at the confluence I have down here for a potential perfect ABC correction into a wave 2, with the implication that I've got much higher prices to come. So first algo target here, which would not even be 100% the length of the one, negative 23.6. So if we see it, we don't know that we're going to get there, but I certainly would be paying attention if we're going to get there. So first algo target. Right, not even looking at the 1618, that target's going to be way higher. So if we go down below the 786, well, there's 7.5 to 1. Right, there's that. That's if I'm going to zoom a little bit here so we can look at what the potential is here, and that's just so. Here's the negative 618. Now we're at 11 to 1. Right, we go all the way up to where we know the potential for a wave 3 is going to be up at the negative 100, which will be very close to the 1618, 14.4 to 1. Right? Do you want to pay attention when we get there? Does that mean that's a guaranteed winner? Of course not. But why would we be looking to trade there? Right. So first target, second target, third target. That's the reason. So there you go. That's definitely trading beautifully, very technical. Everything we could look for. We don't we may not get this, but right now that would be the path that I would be anticipating. It's very consistent with what we're seeing. This market, we know it's full. Algos are all over in here. So this golden corner pocket. That's as good as they get. All right, guys, one to keep your eyes on, but nothing just yet. But I sure would have an alarm on that. Yeah, that's it for now.